Good morning students. In last class we have learnt about microbes in human welfare. In that lesson we are going to learn today regarding the fermentation and also about alcohol preparation, after that antibiotics. Yes, microbes are playing an important role in the preparation of the antibiotics as well as alcohol. Along with that, some of the organic acids and enzymes also. So now let us see first in what way they are useful in the preparation of the alcohol as well as antibiotics. Majorly here pharmaceutical industry or else preparation of the alcohol, there are different types are there: gin, rum, vodka, wine, whiskey, okay, etc. So how they are preparing means through the which source we are getting these all. Let us see first here. Alcohol fermentation. This side I am writing here antibiotics. Okay. See, in the alcohol fermentation what we are using, that is again yeast only. What is the name? Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, it is also called as a brewer's yeast. Whenever we learned regarding the baker's yeast, during the time of the bread preparation, the same yeast we learnt as a baker's yeast. Now we are learning as a brewer's yeast. Why? Because in the beverages industry we are using, no, that is the reason why we are calling as a brewer's yeast. There are different types are there. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is a brewer's yeast. One more, Saccharomyces sake. From this we will get a sake wine. Okay, from the rice it will be used in the Japan. Then after Saccharomyces pyriformis. Saccharomyces pyriformis. Next that is a ginger yeast. What we are calling this one? This one we are calling as a ginger wine or ginger yeast. From the ginger we will get. Okay. Next Saccharomyces already completed, no, cerevisiae, sake and pyriformis. These three they are using in the preparation of the different type of the alcohols. Now let us see what are the extractions which we get from different sources. For example, barley malt. Okay, from this we will get beer. Okay, how the barley malt? Due to the fermentation process only. Through the fermentation of the barley malt we will get the beer. Next one, rye, same. From the rye you will get the gin. Next rice, sake wine. Potato, vodka, apple and cashew nut. From this you will get fenny. From the fruit juices, what do you get? Wine, grape wine, that is, as well as brandy. From the molasses, rum. from the cereals, whiskey. See, nowadays whatever we know the different type of the alcohols, these are the sources. Beer we are extracting from the barley malt, whereas gin from the rye. Then sake alcohol from the sake yeast. From where do you get? From the rice. Especially it is preparing in the Japan. Next, vodka from the potato, fenny, apple and cashew nut. Wine and brandy, these two we get from the fruit juices. Like what are the different fruit juices? If you see, especially I am giving one example, that is a grape wine. We know that grape wine. Next, molasses, sugarcane molasses. From that we will get the rum. Then cereals, from that we will get the whiskey. So among them, the percentage of the alcohol, if you see, 40% of the alcohol is present in gin and rum. Then 80% of the alcohol is present in vodka. Next, here whereas if you see in whiskey, 50 to 60% of the alcohol is present in that. Then 95% of the alcohol is present in rectified spirit. Then there is a 100% of the alcohol in absolute alcohol. So these are the percentage of the alcohol which we get through the different beverages. And in the previous class we learnt from the toddy, that is 4 to 6% of the alcohol we got it. Like that there are different preparations based on the source. Okay. Then here based on the distillation, there are two types, distilled and non-distilled. What are those? One is distilled, another one is non-distilled. Okay. Through the distillation process, what will be obtained? That is wine will be obtained, wine and whiskey. Then remaining all through the non-distillation process only we will get. Okay. In the wine, especially what we are using? Grapes we are using, grape wine. Okay. The stem and fruits of a grape, the stem and fruits of the grapes will be used in the preparation of the grape wine. Okay. So in that way the preparation of the grape wine will be, you can able to see. Next one. Preparation of the beer. If you see the preparation of the beer, first the grains, barley grains, we are taking. From this they soak, first they soak in a water. After soaking a water, what happens? They germinate. Germinated seeds will be obtained. These germinated seeds, first it will be dried up. Dried after, we are sending into a machines or the mill. For what purpose? For grinding purpose. So now what we are doing? One is grains we are taking. Next, for that we are adding water. Then after we are adding the yeast. Then here what is happening? Fermentation is going on. Due to that, what do you get after grinding? After what do you get? You will get a beer. Okay. For this, they are adding the hope flour, Okay, Humulus lupinus, the scientific name of the hope flower. Why they are adding this hope flower powder? They are adding the hope flower powder. What is the purpose of adding this powder? Because in order to get a flavor or a taste. That is the reason why when we see or when we observe the taste of the beer, that is zesty in taste. Which taste? Zesty. Zesty taste means it is a bittery sour in taste. Bittery sour in taste. So in that way they prepare the beer. Okay, this is about the just one of the preparation of the alcohols. Okay, then what are the byproducts of the alcohol? What are the byproducts of the alcohol? The byproducts of the alcohol means after the preparation of the any beverage, that may be the gin or that may be the rum, whatever it may be, what do you get first? So in that there are many intermediate compounds are there: propanol, butanol, succinic acid, acetic acid or acetaldehyde, pyruvic acid, glycerol, along with that ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide. This also will be obtained. For the fermentation of the alcohol, what is that? For the fermentation, and for the preparation of the alcohol, there will be a pH that is 5. The pH should be in between 5, only 5. Next, the temperature when you see 35 degrees Celsius. Next, the container, large fermenter container, large fermenters. Large fermenters means these are nothing but a large tanks. Okay. In industrial level, a large amount of the alcohol, whenever you want to extract or whenever you want to prepare, you need to maintain these conditions. One is pH must and should be 5 and temperature must and should be 35 degrees Celsius. Whereas, where do you prepare that one? In a large tanks we can able to prepare. So, these are the requirements for the preparation of the alcohol. These are the byproducts while we are preparing the alcohol. In the previously what did we learn? What are the sources? Okay, then what are the types? Okay, yeast, how many names it has? Baker's yeast as well as brewer's yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, this is about alcohol preparation and their source. So, from the microorganisms, what we are getting first, just now I have explained about the beverages, that is alcohol, preparation of the alcohol through the fermentation process. Next one is antibiotics. Okay, antibiotics after organic acids. Next, biochemical, bioactive substances. Bioactive substances are nothing but enzymes. So, these all are with the help of the microbes only we are going to prepare alcohol, antibiotics, organic acids or else bioactive enzymes. Okay. Now, what we have completed? Alcohol is completed. Now, let us see about the antibiotics. Antibiotics. The term, the word or the term antibiotics given by the Waxman. Okay, who gave this term? The term is given by the Waxman. Then what is the meaning, the literary meaning of the antibiotic if you see? So now I am going to explain the meaning, the literary meaning. Here there are two words are there in antibiotics, one is anti, another one is biotics. So now anti means against, then bio means life. Okay. So the total meaning when you compare this, it prevents or kills or prevents the growth of harmful or disease causing pathogen. So what is the meaning of the antibiotic? Anti means against, life means, bio means life. So what is the meaning of this one? Antibiotic kills harmful or disease causing pathogen. For example, this is a cell, let us assume. What is that? This is a cell. Now a bacteria has entered into cell. This bacteria, what is this? This is the bacteria. This bacteria causes a disease to the human being. Okay. Now to kill that bacteria, they are sending some chemicals through the injection. For example, let us assume this is the injection needle. Then all the chemical substances are entered. This chemical substance go and attack on the microorganism. Then it will be killed. Due to whom it is killing? These substances. These substances are what? These are antibiotics. These are the chemical substances which are present in very little amount, to kill the disease causing pathogen. Okay, these are called as antibiotics. Now you got a clear cut idea of what is antibiotic. So this is a bacterial cell which has entered into the animal cell. Through the injection we have sent the chemical substances. These chemical substances are attacking the disease causing the bacteria. Now the bacteria is died, or else bacterial functioning will be controlled by these chemicals. Okay. Here bacteria may be died, or else bacteria growth, development, its functions will be prevented or controlled by this chemical substance. These are called as a antibiotic. This antibiotic will be administered very little amount. That little amount is sufficient to prevent or kill the disease causing pathogen. Who gave this term antibiotic? That is given by the Waxman. Okay. Now let us see the discovery of the antibiotic. Yes, if you see in the year of 1928 or 1929, Alexander Fleming, the name of the scientist is Alexander Fleming. He discovered, what did he discover? Penicillin. Okay. So directly he did not discover the penicillin here. Actually he is a doctor. Okay. Actually he is a doctor. While he is working with Staphylococcus aureus or else Staphylococcus pneumonia, which causes the pneumonia disease. What is the name of the bacteria? Staphylococcus. Okay. Staphylococcus pneumonia or else Staphylococcus aureus. Okay. This is a culture medium. What is this? This is a culture medium. On the culture medium, there are some bacteria. These are some of the bacteria. Staphylococcus bacteria. Okay. Now, in those days, the diseases are spreading through the Staphylococcus bacteria. Now, he is doing a research on that bacteria to prevent or to control that disease. Let us assume that is a Staphylococcus pneumonia. Okay. Now, here what has happened, while he is doing the research with the Staphylococcus, okay, suddenly he got a call and he left the experiment there itself and he went away. Okay, after some time, that may be the 3 to 4 hours or 1 day after, when he came back on the surface of the Staphylococcus, he has observed a colony. He has observed a colony, a thread-like structure he observed, okay, which is in green color. Green color, a colony he has observed. With that, what he has concluded, actually these bacteria, that is Staphylococcus only causing the disease. But on that Staphylococcus, one more colony is formed. So, this bacteria are controlling by the another pathogen or another microorganism. So that from this we can get the medicine to kill the Staphylococcus, he concluded. Why? Because if the bacteria is active in condition, this green color colony must not be grown. If it is growing, means it is a sign that in that colony there are some chemicals which control the growth of the bacteria. Are you getting what I am saying? On the surface of the bacteria something is growing, means that have the capability to kill or control the bacteria number. So that from that we can able to get the medicine he finalized with his experiment. Okay. So now he found that this green color colony, that is a Penicillium species or Penicillium from the fungi. Okay. So finally, from the Penicillium notatum, what is this? It is a fungi. From the Penicillium notatum, he extracted penicillin antibiotic. Okay, what did he extracted? Penicillin antibiotic. Okay, this is the experiment first done by the Alexander Fleming. So who discovered the penicillin? Alexander Fleming. From where did he discover? From the Penicillium notatum. Okay, then then what might be the bacteria which he has used for his experiment? That is a Staphylococcus aureus or the pneumonia. But better to remember that Staphylococcus species. Okay, then after Florey and Chain. Florey and Chain. These two scientists extensively worked on antibiotics. Okay. After the discovery of the penicillin by the Alexander Fleming, then whatever the Alexander Fleming has discovered, that extensively research has done by the Florey and Chain. Okay. Before him, Waxman, the name of the scientist is Waxman. Streptomycin, what is the name of the antibiotic? That is the streptomycin. What is this? The name of the antibiotic. Okay. This streptomycin is obtained from Streptomycetes. This Streptomycetes belongs to Actinomycetes. This Streptomycetes belongs to Actinomycetes. Now see here, Waxman discovered What he discovered? First discovered, better to write here, Waxman first discovered streptomycin antibiotic from the Streptomycetes species, which is belongs to Actinomycetes group. Now here Florey Chain extensively worked on the antibiotic. Then between 1928 to 1929, Alexander Fleming discovered the penicillin. Okay, next what has happened here? During the year of 1945, during the year of 1945, this might be the 1942. Okay, during the year of 1945, Alexander Fleming, Florey and Chain, these three together received Nobel Prize. For the discovery of the antibiotic penicillin. Okay, these three together received the Nobel Prize. Then antibiotics are two types. Antibiotics are two types. Usually antibiotics, most of the antibiotics we are getting from the three sources. One is fungi, another one is Actinomycetes and Eubacteria. Most of the antibiotics we are producing from these three. Okay. So what are those? Fungi, Actinomycetes and Eubacteria. This Actinomycetes, it is a connective link. It is a connective link between fungi and Eubacteria. It is a connective link between the fungi and Eubacteria. Based on the functioning of the antibiotics, antibiotics are divided into two. Antibiotics are divided into two. Okay, one is narrow spectrum, another one is broad spectrum. Okay, what is the difference between narrow spectrum and broad spectrum? Okay, narrow spectrum means it shows its action. It shows its action on specific microorganism or specific species only. Okay, that is a narrow spectrum. For example, here penicillin is there. What is that? Penicillin antibiotic is there. This penicillin antibiotic, it acts only on gram positive bacteria. Okay, it acts only on gram positive bacteria. In that gram positive bacteria, it prevents synthesis. It prevents synthesis of cell wall of that bacteria. Okay, it prevents synthesis of cell wall of that bacteria. So it is showing only one action. The penicillin is showing only one action, that is, it is preventing or stopping to synthesize the cell wall of that particular bacteria only. Okay, so only focusing on only one particular function is the narrow spectrum. Narrow spectrum. Next, now let us see about the broad spectrum. In this I am taking example streptomycin. Just now only I have written streptomycin from the Streptomycetes. Okay, that streptomycin, it is a broad spectrum, no? So that what happens here, whatever the functions are there, those functions of the particular bacteria will be stopped. cell wall synthesizing will be stopped. Okay, like that. Especially in this, it attacks on the LPS, lipopolysaccharide. It attacks, it stops the synthesis of lipopolysaccharide, and also the broad spectrum, mainly the broad spectrum means it can able to control gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Whereas narrow spectrum, one example we have taken, that is the penicillin, it is only controlling the gram positive bacteria. Broad spectrum, it is controlling both gram positive as well as gram negative bacteria. Both bacteria are controlling. Already in cell biology we learnt what is the difference between the gram positive and gram negative. Okay. Then broad spectrum, in that streptomycin which extracted by the streptomycetes of the actinomycetales, then here it prevents the synthesis of the lipopolysaccharide. What is that? LPS, lipopolysaccharide. Then what is the main function broad spectrum? It prevents the both, controls the both gram positive as well as gram negative. This is about the little information regarding the antibiotics. Usually whenever you consult a doctor to kill the bacterial load in our body, they suggest us antibiotics. These antibiotics, plague disease or different bacterial diseases, whatever we know, those are based on the species, different antibiotics will be given. Little amount only, but excessive amount of the antibiotics, definitely they show side effects, especially they reduces our immune system. That is the reason why administering or taking of excessive antibiotics, it weakens our body. So during the time of the antibiotics, whenever we take, we have to take sufficient food and fruits, and in order to increase our immune power or overcome the problem of the weakness, when we take antibiotics, we have to take the sufficient food. This is about antibiotics. So far what we have completed, one is alcohol, another one is antibiotics. Okay, let us see about the organic acids. Organic acids. There are different organic acids are present. Okay. So among them, if you see, first I am going to explain about the acetic acid. What is that? Acetic acid. Acetic acid obtained from Acetobacter aceti, Acetobacter aceti. From that bacterium you will get acetic acid. In this regard, what happens? First here what will be formed? Gymase enzyme will be there. Okay. Then after, in the previous class we have learnt, what did we learn? Gymase enzyme is a true enzyme which converts into the ethyl alcohol from the glucose. For example, C6H12O6. What is this? This is a monosaccharide or glucose. This is the monosaccharide or glucose. In presence of this Acetobacter aceti, in presence of Acetobacter aceti, what happens in presence of Acetobacter aceti? It will become into, or else you see gymase enzyme is present. Yes, ethyl alcohol plus CO2, ethyl alcohol plus CO2 in presence of gymase enzyme. Whereas again this ethyl alcohol Acetobacter aceti, in presence of this bacteria, it will be converted into acetic acid. Okay, acetic acid formula, that is CH3COOH. Okay, here in presence of Giamese enzyme, what is happening? We are getting ethyl alcohol. That ethyl alcohol in presence of Acetobacter aceti, it will become into acetic acid. This is only we are calling as a vinegar. So, where we are using this vinegar? We are using as a cooling material. Okay. In a beauty parlor, you might have known, after the facial they use the vinegar or acetic acid in order to reduces the burning nature of the chemical. After the facial, they add this acetic acid to make the tissues cool. So, for the cooling effect. Okay. Next, in the preparation of the plastic. Next, in pharmaceutical industry, that preparation of the medicines, such type of the industry we call as a pharmaceutical. So, in pharmaceutical industry, even in order to not to spoil the food, also acetic acid will be used, vinegar will be used. Okay. Cooling effect, I said no. So, these are the some of the uses of the acetic acid. Okay. How we can able to prepare means, in that manner you can able to prepare. In the organic acids, first one we learnt about the acetic acid. Okay. Next, citric acid. What is that? Next one is citric acid. So, now I am going to explain about citric acid. Citric acid is obtained from the Aspergillus niger. From where? Aspergillus niger, and some of the yeast also involving. So, what purpose citric acid we are using? That citric acid. So, what is that? Aspergillus niger. So, what purpose we are using? For the inks preparation, inks or dyeing during the time of the ironing. Okay. Then clothes they get a starch, no, in that ironing purpose also citric acid will be used. Even in the preparation of the candies, candies means chocolates, in the preparation of the chocolates also citric acid will be used. So, this is about the acetic acid, that is about the citric acid. Next, let us see about the butyric acid. What is the next one? That is butyric acid. This butyric acid obtained from Clostridium butylicum. It is obtained from Clostridium butylicum. This is the name of the bacteria. It causes disease, that is botulinum. It causes disease, that is botulinum. Actually, the botulinum how we are getting? The Clostridium butylicum releases a toxin, that is a chemical, that is botulin, that is botulin. This botulin, indigestion will be created as well as on the nervous system. It acts on nervous system. Okay. Due to that, this food will be spoiled. Okay. The Clostridium butylicum, it spoils the food. That spoiled food, whenever we eat, then we will get indigestion problem as well as this nervous system. Nervous system also will be affected. So, what is the name of the disease? That is the botulinum. Okay. So, this is about the butyric acid. Next, let us see about lipase. So far what we have learnt? Organic acid. What are the organic acids we learned? One is lactic acid we learned, another one is citric acid we learned, and the third one is butyric acid we learned. Okay. Lactic acid, citric acid and butyric acid we have learned. Now let us see organic acids completed. Now let us see about some of the enzymes. Enzymes. Usually when we see the enzymes, first one I am going to explain about the lipase. Okay, lipase. Acetobacter aceti, Candida rugosa, yeast, from the yeast, Candida rugosa, then Aspergillus niger, this is the yeast, this is the bacteria, sorry, fungi. Aspergillus niger is a fungi. Okay. From that cell wall we can able to extract the extracellular wall, we can able to extract the lipase. Then where do we use this lipase enzyme? Especially to remove stains and oil marks on the cloth. Some stains, oil marks will be there, no? To removal of the stains and oil we use the lipase enzyme. And also in preparation of the soaps and detergents, we use lipase enzyme. Then in dairy industry to provide some flavor purpose they use. So dairy industry means cheese, curd, there, no? In order to provide some flavor, some taste, they add this lipase enzyme. And in interesterification reactions, also this lipase enzyme will be used. So what are those? To remove the stains and preparation of soaps, detergents and dairy industry flavor. Next, in interesterification reactions also they use lipase. Okay. Then after this I am going to explain about, already we know the three. One is cellulase, another one is pectinase, another one is protease. At the end it is a suffix, prefix and suffix. Ase is present means we usually call as an enzyme. Cellulase digests the cellulose. Where do you find cellulose? In the cell wall. Then pectinase digests the pectin. Where it is present? In the cell wall only. Next, protease digests the protein. So these all are digesting the cellulose, pectin and protease. Especially these are clarifying juices. What they are doing? They clarify the juices. So let us see in what way they clarify the juices. What is the clarifying first? Let us see that. Yes. For example, here I am going to explain about the pectinase or protease, whatever it may be. First, listen here. There are two types of the juices are present. I am going to explain regarding that one. Protease or pectinase. In that, when we see, first you take a one ripened mango, well ripened mango we have to take. Okay. Then we cut and grind it in a grinder or the mixer. Then what do you get? You will get a juice. What juice you will get? You will get the mango juice. Okay. So now I am taking in a glass. I am taking in a glass that mango juice. Okay, you know very well this one. Next, this side what we are doing, outside in the shop whatever we are getting, for example Maaza. Okay, it is a bottle juice. It is naturally we brought, naturally we prepared. The Maaza is a bottle juice. So what is the difference? Then this bottle juice also you take in a container or you take in a glass. Okay. Now you can able to identify the difference between this one and this one. Color also it will be more, taste also it will be more, thickness also it will be more, but color less, thinness here thick, here thin, here taste also it will be more, it will be less. This is a natural one and this is a artificial one. The main difference I am going to explain between these two. Here fine thread like structures, fine thread like structures you can able to see, but it is a smooth like a liquid only, you cannot see fine thread like structures. Am I right? So especially this pectinase and protease when you use, clarifying bottle juice. Clarifying bottle juice means whatever the thread fine thread like structures are present, that will be removed by these enzymes. So that is the reason why in a market whatever we are getting the juices, in that you don't find fine thread like structures, fine hair or thread like structures you don't find. Why? Because those are digested by whom? These enzymes. Okay. And just they add the flavor here for the sugar water, some ingredients, acetic acid like that, they add flavor only, but this is a natural one. Now I think you got it, what is the difference between natural juice and the bottled juice. In the bottled juice, removal of the fine hair thread like structures, what we are using? We are using the enzymes. So clarifying bottle juice, in NCERT book there is a term that clarifying bottle juice. What is the meaning of clarifying bottle juice? In the bottle whatever the juice is present, that is totally clarified. What is clarified here? The fine thread like structures are clarified. This is about the enzymes. Now let us see streptokinase. Okay. This is obtained from, it is also enzyme, it is obtained from Streptococcus bacteria. It is obtained from Streptococcus bacteria. It is the streptokinase, the enzyme binds, it binds and activates plasminogen or plasmogen. Okay. Then it binds and activates the plasminogen or plasmogen. Then due to that thrombolysis will be taken place. Thrombolysis will be taken place. Thrombolysis means the platelets, whatever the blood is there, that is clotted. So, the main function of streptokinase is a clot buster. It is a clot buster. Then it prevents myocardial infarction. Now let us see what is that. See, for example, I am going to explain in detail. This is the rough diagram of the heart. These are the 4 chambers of the heart. A coronary artery is connected here, auricle. Then what happens here? Here one bulged position, and here also one bulged position is present. What is that here? Blood is clotted. The blood cells and thrombocytes are clotted. It is a blood clot. Okay. You see the differences between these 2 vessels. Whenever there is no obstacle, blood flows smoothly into the heart. But there are 2 blood clusters are there. What are those? There are 2 blood clots are present. So, as the blood reaches, then what happens here? It comes out, but with a great pressure enters into the heart. So, due to that, what happens? The pressure will be more on the muscles of the heart. That leads to degradation of the heart muscles. That disease only we are calling as a myocardial infarction. Okay, the blood pressure will be increased. You know very well, in our home, whenever you are watering to the plants, the tip of the pipe, just if you press, what happens? The water comes out with a great pressure. Okay, here also the blood entering into the heart with a great pressure. Due to that, it acts, the pressure acts some pressure on the walls of the heart. Then the wall muscle, no, it is made up of muscle. So that myo means related to the muscle. Cardial means heart. Cardial means heart. Myocardial infarction, degradation of the wall tissue of heart. Okay. So when it is happening, whenever the blood clot is forming or taking place, in that time it happens. To removal of the clots, what we are using? We are using the streptokinase enzyme. That streptokinase, this streptokinase, what we are calling clot buster, means it is bursting the clot. Then as the streptokinase comes, it dilutes, it digests. Then clot buster, streptokinase is a clot buster. Then no clot is there. Then blood easily entered into the heart. Then thrombolysis. Thrombo means blood platelets, like that. Thrombo, you know, platelets, thromboplastin, like that. Different components are present, no. So thrombolysis, lysis means division. Then due to whom the thrombolysis is taking place? Due to the streptokinase enzyme only. Even lungs also, it can show it effect. Streptokinase can show it affects whenever the clot has formed even in the lungs. This is about the streptokinase. Very, very important. Previous year NEET bit we got from here, clot buster. Okay. Previous year NEET bit, this is a streptokinase. Next. Then after completion of this, next concept is streptokinase after statins. Okay, statins. Usually the statins we are using to reduce the lower cholesterol in the blood. Statins reduces lower cholesterol in the blood. Okay, in blood. Okay, what is the name of the microbe which we are using in the preparation of the statin? That is Monococcus purpureus. It lowers the cholesterol level in the blood. Means in the blood whatever the cholesterol is present, that will be lowered, that will be reduced, even in the liver also. Okay, this is about the statin. Next, cyclosporin. What is that? Cyclosporin. Cyclosporin is obtained from Trichoderma purpureus. Sorry, polysporer. Trichoderma polysporer. Okay. So, statins Monococcus purpureus and cyclosporin Trichoderma polysporer. Then what does it do? Cyclosporin, what does it do? During the time of organ transplantation, it prevents organ rejection. This is one, and it is a effective immunosuppressant. For example, I will tell you, for example, a person is affected with the kidney disease. One of the kidneys failed. Then a donor is ready. We want to take the kidney from the donor and we want to transplant here. Okay. Then here two persons, A is a donor, B is a recipient. He is a donor and he is a recipient. The kidney is transferring to the B. He is a recipient. Here what happens? The kidney may not be suitable or may not be matched with the B person. Sometimes the body of this individual rejects to accept the kidney of the others. Okay, because many chemicals are present, many fluids are present in our body that may not accept the kidney of the others. So that is the reason why cyclosporin, before only they administer to the recipient. What does it do? During the time of the organ transplantation, during the time of the kidney transplantation, it prevents, the cyclosporin prevents organ rejection. So you should not do organ rejection, you have to accept like that. Some chemicals will be, some injections or some enzymes will be given to the recipient in order to prevent organ rejection. This is about the cyclosporin. These three are very, very important. One is statin, another one is cyclosporin, another one is streptokinase. So every year we are getting one question from these three, anyone will be given. Last year clotbuster is given. Okay, like that every year alternatively giving from these three. So you need to concentrate more from this area. Okay, remaining concepts will be seen in my next class.